Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on. Oh, yeah, it is about time that I got to reviewing this one. Um, Obviously, this movie came out last week as of me recording this review. But as I'm sure you're aware, unfortunately, I could not go and see the film the weekend of its release because I was away on holidays in Lanzarote. But obviously, I have returned now from Lanzarote, and when I came back, I finally went to see the movie a few days ago. In fact, I have actually been to see the film twice now as of me recording this review. I went to see it there for the first time on Wednesday, and I actually went to see it there again yesterday. So, already, with the fact that I've been to see it twice now, I'll tell that's pretty much a sign that I definitely was a fan of this movie. And having seen it for myself twice now, I can say that I am so glad that I finally got to see this film when I could, because oh my gosh, this movie was an absolute blast. Now, getting further into my thoughts on the film, starting things off, the cinematography I think is honestly really good. I mean, given that this is a Marvel movie, not really a shocker, but I think this movie is honestly really well shot. Like, with this being a really kind of high stakes movie, and having it kind of be in different settings as the film goes on, we get like all these different shots of like all these different angles of everywhere they go in the film. And honestly, I have to say, I think it is a very well shot movie, and there is plenty of really good shots in the film, and I do like what they do with certain shots. It can honestly be quite creative. So overall, I think the cinematography in this film is really good. The editing in this film also is very good as well. Honestly, I think it's a really well edited movie. It can definitely get like very sporadic during a lot of the film, like especially during some of the action sequences. And honestly, I have to say it is definitely a very well edited movie. They are able to edit them like going and to these different settings and stuff. It's honestly really good editing. So yeah, like overall, I have to say I think the editing in this movie is really good as well. Now, as for the film's pace, now this is a long enough movie, and this is at 2 hours and 8 minutes. Not the longest MCU movie. Like, I wouldn't call this a short film. There have definitely been, like, longer movies in this franchise, with plenty being like 2.5 hours, and in some cases even 3 hours. So I think a runtime of 2 hours and 8 minutes is, a good runtime for this film. I think it's perfectly okay runtime. And I have to say though, the movie actually did a great job with the pacing. Like, with the film being a 2 hour and 8 minute runtime, it is kind of long enough, but however, the film actually goes at a fast enough pace, because like it is like, a superhero movie, and there's a lot of action sequences happening, so like it kind of makes sense that it would be a fairly fast paced movie. But I have to say though, like, I actually didn't mind the fact that this movie was as quick as it was, like, because honestly, I actually didn't really feel the runtime all that much with it, like, especially on my second viewing. I think that is kind of because I already knew, like, everything that was gonna happen, but despite the 2 hour long runtime, I actually thought this movie flew by, to be honest. And yeah, like, there was just so much superhero action and fun happening on the screen that I honestly just wasn't really bothered by the runtime. And being said, I think the movie dedicates enough time to everything, and all the different aspects of the plot, to where you don't feel like it's rushing too much. So overall, I would say that the pace in this movie was actually great, in my opinion. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this movie was greatly paced. In terms of the sound and music in the film, now, sound effects used here, like during all these different sequences, like all these scenes, like the sounds of all these different things. And I'm not gonna lie, it is genuinely really good. What we get, I think overall the sound effects in this movie are really well done. Now, in terms of the film's music, I think overall the score in the movie is, I'll say good, really good. But throughout the movie, they do have a lot of needle drops. Like, there's a lot of like real familiar songs used in the movie, but to be fair though, they are genuinely great songs that they use, and I think they actually help elevate the scenes and actually make it like a lot more fun and engaging. Like, after the movie's come out, like, there is one needle drop at the very start of the movie, and yeah, all I'll say is I can definitely see this song having a resurgence after that scene. I think it's starting to already. But yeah, overall it was genuinely great music that they had in the film. So overall, I'd say that the sound and music in the movie was really good. the visual effects in the film, I have to be honest, were actually very good. Like I know with a lot of MCU movies in phases 4 and 5, they definitely had a lot of issues, but I know one thing which many did complain about was the CGI actually looked like really bad and unfinished, and yeah, and like the fact that we had films last year like The Creator and Godzilla minus one that had like way lower budgets than a lot of these movies. Yes, their effects look way superior and stuff. But however, it seems like they're actually starting to kind of finally take notes of some of this, because I'm not gonna lie, the effects in this movie actually did look like genuinely really good, and really help elevate a lot of the sequences. So overall, I'd say the VFX in this movie were very good. Now, in terms of the characters and the performances from the cast, obviously we need to start with our two titular characters, Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool as a character, I thought was actually really good in this film. I thought the way they handled his character and continued him from the previous two movies was overall done really well here. I thought he has a good arc in this film. Granted, I feel like some of his arc could have been, better developed, but honestly, for the most part, it was once again a really funny character, and he was genuinely very entertaining, as he always is. The other titular character, Wolverine, this is not the same Wolverine as the one that we know from the X-Men movies. Like, that Wolverine, he died in Logan. Yeah, that one is done now, and they even address this in the movie that they're not tampering with his legacy. That Wolverine, he's gone now. His story is done. This is a different variant of Wolverine from another universe, and I'm not gonna lie, I really liked this variant of Wolverine as a character. I thought the way that he was developed was honestly done very well. Like, his backstory was genuinely very tragic. I liked how it was handled in the movie. Yeah, honestly, I thought this version of Wolverine was really good, and in terms of both of the performances, yeah, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they're both very good once again. They're both brilliant in these respective roles. Like, you pretty much can't really imagine anyone else playing either of these characters, and as you would expect, their chemistry with each other is just brilliant. It's off the charts. Yeah, they honestly had great chemistry in this film. The two of them were both great here. Now, in terms of other characters, a lot of Deadpool's friends and stuff from the previous movies, all I'll say is they're not in this film all that much. They're at the beginning and at the end of it, but they were okay for what screen time we got, but they weren't really in this film as much as they were in the previous two, which I didn't mind, because this is Deadpool and Wolverine's movie. Yeah, there is a bunch of cameos in the film. I obviously will not be giving them away for the sake of spoilers, but oh, trust me, I genuinely love some of these cameos. Like, oh boy, when they shows up in the movie, like, oh, I was actually quite happy. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there are definitely some exciting cameos in this film. All right, I'll say. But there are two like new notable characters. One of which is Mr. Paradox. Of course, he works for the TVA, who you'll know from the Loki series, and yeah, I won't say too much about his character, but all I'll say is he was pretty good, and I'm not gonna lie, the direction that they took with his character, I was not really expecting it, but it was genuinely interesting, and I thought the performance from Matthew Macfadyen was overall very good, so yeah, I thought he was good, and finally the last character I'm going to be talking about is the main villain of this movie, Cassandra Nova, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought she was a really good villain. Like, I am not gonna lie, she was actually genuinely very threatening. Like, as well as that, like, she honestly did come across as a real kind of a fun villain as well, with the way she kind of tortures everybody. Yeah, she actually makes for a genuinely menacing threat, and I have to say Emma Corrin is really good in this role. Like, she has a lot of fun here, and she's actually genuinely menacing. Yeah, I really like her here. So, overall, I think that the characters were really good, and as well as that, the acting was very good as well, with especially Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman both having great chemistry and definitely leading the film flawlessly. So overall, very good characters and very good acting. The plot of this movie now, I think like the whole kind of concept with this film, like the basic plot of this movie, it's an okay concept. I don't think it's particularly a very strong one, but I think it is okay. It's to be fair with this film, like the story isn't really the main thing that you're going to see with this film. You're going to see Deadpool and Wolverine, the titular characters, just absolutely riveting it up with swearing, fourth wall breaks, and violent action. But I have to say, I think all of those aspects really carry the plot here, because as they've kind of gone a different direction with it, I feel like this movie like could have just been like an okay movie, but the fact that we have Deadpool and Wolverine, leading the film, they take what's honestly kind of a basic enough concept and actually make it genuinely really fun. I mean, obviously the humor in this film is really good. Like, there's definitely a lot of laughs throughout the movie. There's a lot of different variety of humor. Like, there's multiple jabs at different studios and stuff. It is a very funny film, I have to say. Um, and as well as that, the action in this movie is really good. Like, there is so much fun action sequences in this movie, and what makes it stand out from the rest of the MCU in terms of its action is how violent and bloody it gets. Like, this is actually the first R-rated movie in the MCU. Yeah, this is the first MCU movie to have an age rating higher than 12A. Like, where I live in Ireland, this movie is rated 16. Yeah, with the teenage for an MCU movie actually has a 16 rating, and yeah, I think the movie definitely lives up to the rating because, like, the violence here, it is really bloody, and yeah, I say it definitely delivers on that aspect. Yeah, it's honestly a blast of an action film. And like, I think all of this, as well as the chemistry between Reynolds and Jackman, is kind of really what carries this movie and makes it as good as it is. As well as like there being a bunch of fun cameos, but we do get like some depth with the central two characters that also help make the plot way more compelling. And it's honestly handled well enough, so yeah, overall I have to say I think the plot of the movie is really good. Like, as I said, it's an okay story, but the way that they go about it with the humor and the action, it just makes it another blast to watch. So overall, it was an okay concept, but really good execution. In terms of the film's narrative structure now, the main plot of this movie is basically Deadpool, he meets up with a variant of Wolverine, and they kind of have to go on this mission to kind of, basically save Deadpool's world. As I said, it's a very simple concept. So while this is pretty much, the crux of the narrative. There's a few other things in here, we get a bit of depth to Deadpool's character since the events of the second film. As I've said, I feel like it could have been, developed a bit better, to be honest, but what we got of it I thought was good enough, and it honestly helps make Wade a more sympathetic character. Although I have to say, Wolverine's character, on the other hand, yeah, what they did with his whole character and his backstory and stuff, as I said, it was tragic, and I think this was really what kind of helped make this movie as compelling as it was, like, with his whole character. Like, I really liked the way that they handled it, and as I said, it's a simple enough premise, but the way that they execute it with, like, the action, the humor, they just make this an utter blast of a movie. I think the way it all fits into the main narrative is overall done very well. So overall, I'd say that the narrative structure in this movie is overall quite good. Like, with again, like, the way they handle the concept was done well, but the way they fit all that into the main narrative, I thought was really good. So, overall, I'd say the narrative structure in this film was very good overall. So overall, Deadpool and Wolverine was honestly a blast of a movie, like with very good cinematography, great music. Uh, Deadpool and Wolverine themselves are both really great characters. Their chemistry is brilliant. It has a very good villain, fun cameos, and it takes what could be a simple enough concept, but they execute it really well with a lot of great humor and bloody action. Honestly, it's an utter blast of a film, and you're looking for a really fun, like R-rated blockbuster this summer. If you somehow haven't seen this movie already, it's definitely worth going to see. It is honestly just a blast of a film. I'm very glad that I finally got to see it when I could. Yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine, and yeah, like, as I said, you haven't seen this movie yet, you want to check it out, definitely, because it is a blast of a film. So with that, I am going to give Deadpool and Wolverine a 9 out of 10. So with that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.